Just a little note, if we could have a little area for the sisters who would like to sit on the side there towards my left. Inshallah, you guys can, if you would like to, sit in that area. If you want to stay in the women's area, that's fine also. Just know that option is open. And for the brothers, there's plenty of seats here. You can bring seats over here, it's no problem.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من شر كل شيء، من شر ما خلقت. اللهم إنا نسألك الخير كله عاجله وآجله، ونعوذ بك من الشر كله عاجله وآجله. So our topic is al-ghayb, and I said al-ghayb, or between faith and superstition. So some part of al-ghayb is of iman, of faith, and some it becomes superstition. So it is very important to keep a gap balance between the two, understand the difference between the unseen is al-ghayb, and al-ghayb is used in the Quran in the general meaning as well as in a specific meaning, particular meaning. One is the linguistic meaning of the word ghayb. Ghayb is something hidden, something absent. So Quran has used that. If something is not there, it's called ghayb. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Hafizatun lil ghayb bima hafiz Allah. The praise for the women that they are those who guard ghayb, which means their husband's absence. The husband is not there, so they guard themselves as well as they guard the property of the husband. So hafizatun lil ghayb. So ghayb is used here for something which is for the one that is not there. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Yusuf, ذَلِكَ لَيَعْلَمَ أَنِّي لَمْ أَخُنْهُ بِالْغَيْبِ. And Yusuf alayhi salam was accused that he has raped a woman, and or he tried to rape the woman, and he went to jail. And he spent almost 10 years in jail. And then finally he explained the dream of the king, and the king was interested to meet him. But before he was asked to leave the prison, he said, مَا بَعُلِ النِّسْوَةِ اللَّاتِي قَطَّعْنَ أَيْدِيَهُنَّ إِنَّ رَبِّي بِكَيْدِهِنَّ عَلِيمٌ. Go and ask those ladies that accused me. And they were involved in the accusation. So when the ladies said that مَا عَلِمْنَا عَلَيْهِ مِنْ سُوءٍ, we did not know anything that wrong that he has done. He said, I did that so that the man in whose home he grew up, he may know that I did not cheat him in his absence. ذَلِكَ لِيَعْلَمَ أَنِّي لَمْ أَخُنْهُ بِالْغَيْبِ. The word ghayb is that is the absence of the person. Or ghayb is a person who is not there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ يَصْلَوْنَهَا يَوْمَ الدِّينِ وَمَا هُمْ عَنْهَا بِغَائِبِينَ. The wrongdoers, the sinners, will be in hellfire, and they will go there on the day of decision, on the day of judgment, and when they go to the hell, they cannot be absent from it. They cannot go away from it. وَمَا هُمْ عَنْهَا بِغَائِبِينَ. So it will not become ghayb. And ghayb also is used in the meaning of suspicion. وَيَقُولُونَ خَمْسَةٌ سَادِسُهُمْ كَلْبُهُمْ رَجْمًا بِالْغَيْبِ. Rajman bil-ghayb, because they don't know, but they are trying to make a assumption. Say that how many people were there in the cave of Ashab al-Kahf? Somebody says 4, and the 5th was the dog. Some says 6, and 5, and the 6th was the dog. All of this, Rajman bil-ghayb. So they are making their assumptions. So ghayb is used here for assumption. So ghayb is something hidden. From this word comes the word ghaba. Ghaba is the jungle, because in the jungle people get lost. So it's called ghaba. Or you have the word ghayab. Ghayabat al-jub. When they wanted to throw Yusuf alayhi salam in the well, why? It's called ghayabat al-jub. That means hidden in the well. In a similar way, the word ghiba, that somebody is not there and you speak against that person. Zikruka khaka bima yakara. And you mention your brother in something in his absence that if he was there, he would not have liked to hear that. That's called ghiba. So ghaba yaghibu means something go away. Ghabat shams, the sunset, sun is gone. That means these things are not there, but they could be there after a while. You can see it after a little while, or after later, sometime. So it's possible to see, but it is at the moment it is ghaib. So you can say ghaib. So is the Quran is available? No, it's not available. It's ghaib. It's absent. That's the general meaning. Then there is a particular meaning of ghaib. Ghaib is someone or something that you have no access of knowing it. You cannot use your eyes to see, you cannot use your ears to hear about it, you cannot touch it, you cannot smell it, you cannot taste it. All the hawas that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, you cannot use them. So it's beyond the hawas, beyond the sense perception. And that's also ghaib. You may use your aql to understand some of it, but sometimes it's even beyond the aql, beyond the even reason. You cannot understand that fully. It's not unreasonable, it is not irrational, but it is certainly called meta-rational, something beyond rational. So that's also, and that's a lot mentioned in the Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is called Alimul Ghayb. Alimul Ghayb wa Shahada. He is the one who knows that which is ghayb, and he knows that which is visible and available and seeable. Alimul Ghayb wa Shahada. Many times mentioned in the Quran. So there is Alamul Ghayb and there is Alimul Ghayb. There is Alimul Ghayb, the hidden world. And the hidden world is much large, much bigger than the world that we see. It's a lot of things that we see, but the things that we do not see are much more. And plenty. Those that we do not see and we cannot see. Unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us to see. And we will see them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who knows that. And Allah is the one, وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِيحُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُ. And He has the keys to the ghaib. Nobody knows except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are a lot of things that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows and nobody else knows that. So, عالم الغيب لا يظهر على غيبه أحدا إلا من ارتضى من رسول. He is the one who knows the ghaib, and He will not make His ghaib known to anybody except some messenger that He may choose. Some prophets He may choose. But prophets do not know all the ghaib. قُلْ عَلَمُ الْغَيْبِ. I do not know the ghaib, as the Prophet say to the people, I do not know ghaib. But he knows some ghaib. So he is not alim al-ghayb mutlaqan, absolutely knowing all the hidden things. No, nobody knows that. All the hidden things except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But some of the ghaib was shown to him. So because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed him the ghaib, so he knows some of the ghaib. But not everything. A lot of things that we do not know, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam could see them. But that doesn't mean that he knows everything. Only Allah knows everything. And His prophets and messengers, they know something, much more than other people, common people. So, Iman bil ghayb is part of our faith. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Very beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah. When you open the Quran, you say, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. So they Muslims are those, the believers are those who believe in the ghaib. They do not say, because I don't see it, so I don't going to believe that. They believe that. And there are many things that are ghaib. We don't see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, although Allah is not called ghaib. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not someone who we see by our eyes. But angels are ghaib. We don't see the angels, but they are angels. Thousands and thousands, millions of angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we don't see them. Sometime, when the angel appeared in the form of a human being, then Sahaba saw it with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But they did not know even at that time he was an angel. Later, when the Prophet told them this was Jibreel who came to teach you, so then they knew that. But when he was there, they did not know that he was an angel. Angel Jibreel alayhi salam used to come bring the wahi to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala was there. She would not know. And then he mentioned that. Or Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, I said, the Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given salam to you. Jibreel has brought the salam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha. So these are angels al ghaib. And then the whole hereafter, akhirah, the day of judgment, hisab and kitab and jaza and saza and jannah and jahannam, all of this is ghaib. And we believe it because the Quran tells us, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us. So we believe in that. Ghaib is also the future. Because you have present, you have past, but then there is future. And the Quran mentioned that. It says, but in the end of Surah Luqman, يعلم الغيب ويعلم ما في الأرحام ولا تدري نفس ماذا تكسب غدا ولا تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت إن الله عنده علم الساعة. Allah has the knowledge of the last hour. ويعلم ما في الأرحام, and He knows what is in the wombs. What is in the wombs? Now somebody might say, we know nowadays through ultrasound that is whether the boy or the girl. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say man. Allah says ma fil arham. That means ma fil arham. What is in the arham? That means what kind of a person is that? How long that person is going to live? Is he going to live long? Is he going to live short life? Be a good person, bad person, intelligent person, foolish person? All of these things are known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. Nobody knows exactly what is going to earn tomorrow. Whether you will be able to come to the job or not, whether you will be able to do things or not, nobody knows that. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. And nobody knows where one is going to die, when one is going to die, and where one is going to die. So these are things that are future, known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also ghaib is the qadar. Taqdeer is ghaib. Nobody knows what is his taqdeer. I mean, a person does not know about his own taqdeer, what about to say about anybody else's taqdeer? What is written for the person? How that person is going to be? Whether he is going to be a rich person, poor person, good person, bad person, or what he is going to do, only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we know some of these things, akhirah for example, heaven and hell and all of these things, we know them from where? From wahi, from the Quran and from the authentic sunnah. If something is from the authentic sunnah, we accept it. If something is from the Quran, of course we accept it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us many things. He informed us and we accept that. And this is our iman. So iman in the ghaib is because we are told about that. Not because we ourselves discovered it, but they told us. We believe in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Actually, believe in the Prophet is also ghaib. How do you know he's the Prophet of Allah? How do you know that Jibreel comes to him? And the message that came to him, the kitab, the Quran, how do you know that this comes from Allah? So we know the kitab came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because the Prophet told us, and we believe in the Prophet because of his miracles, because of his character, because of his personality. We trust him, we believe in him, and so we recognize that. So there are a lot of things that are al-ghayb, ghaibiyat. So some of these things, as I said, we know them from Sunnah, from the Book of Allah, and from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, authentic Sunnah, and our aql tell us also. Because human beings are those, they do not believe only things that they see. Animals only believe things that they see. Human beings, they can believe things that are beyond their perception, beyond their senses. Now, as I said, the ghayb is also the future. But human beings like to know the future. This is the desire in the human being. I want to know what is my future, what is going to happen to me. لو كنت أعلم الغيب لاستكثرت من الخير وما مسني السوء. If I had known the ghayb, as mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Al-Araf, Allah says, say to the people, if I had known myself, the Prophet, if I would have known the unseen, I would have collected a lot of good things. And the evil would not have touched me. So if somebody knows the ghayb, he will try to have. Where I'm going to invest my money, where I'm going to make profit. Yes. What are the things that I avoid so that I don't get sick? Whom I should marry so that the marriage will become successful, not fail. All of these things are part of the ghayb. So people have a desire to know the ghayb. And this desire to know the ghayb, sometimes it is helpful and sometimes it misleads the people. So some people, in order to know the ghayb, if you have to make an effort, of course, you have to learn. The Islamic way is that learn about if you are going to do a business, if you want to marry somebody, if you want to take a job, well, know what are all those things, pros and cons. Know that. Try to understand it. From your knowledge, from your experience, from consultation, and then we are told to do the istikhara. Through the istikhara, you say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma innaka ta'lamu wa la a'lam, innaka taqdiru wa la aqdir, anta allamul ghuyub. Oh Allah, you know I do not know. You have power and I do not have power. You know all the hidden things. Allahumma in kana hadha al-amr khairan li fi dini wa dunya fa ajali amri wa ajlihi faqdirhu li wa yassir li fihi. Oh Allah, if this matter is good for me in my deen, in my dunya, immediately and later, then make it possible for me. And make it easy for me. وإن كان هذا الأمر شرا لي في ديني ودنياي وعاقبة أمري وعاجل أمري وآجله فاصرف عني واصرفني عنه. If this matter is not good for me in my deen and my dunya, immediately and later for me, turn it away from me. And then you mention, what are the things you want to do? You want to marry somebody, mention that. That person, is it good for me to marry that person or not? That travel that I am going to take, is it good for me or not? That house that I want to buy, is it good for me or not? That investment that I am going to do, is it good for me or not? Istikhara. ما خاب من استشار ما ندم من استخار وما خاب من استشار. That is saying that if anybody who makes a mashwara, he will not regret, and if a person makes istikhara, he will not be loser. So istikhara is good to do that. So these are the good ways. That means use your mind, use experience, consultation of the people, and do the istikhara. This is the way you can have some way of understanding about your future. But there are people who go to fortune tellers, to soothsayers. Soothsayers means the future tellers. Somebody says, I'm looking into the stars and I'm looking at your hand, promised look at your palm and I'll tell you that I'm looking from the features of your forehead and I'm doing this and all this. People try to say that. Go to them. This is the wrong way. We are forbidden to do that. Yeah? If you go and to some people and say, because nobody knows the future except Allah. And these are people who are just making zan and takhyil. They're making assumptions, imagination. Sometimes it may be right, sometimes it may not be right. Some of the people are astrologists, not astronomers. There is the difference between astronomy and astrology. Astronomy is to know the laws of the sun and the moon and the stars and all of this. And through them, you know when is the rising and when is the setting and all of these things. So this is called astronomy, the laws of space, which is good, which is very beneficial. Through this, you know about the time of rain, the various seasons, the storms, earthquakes, and all of these things you will know that. So this is knowledge. This is not telling you about the future. This is more of a scientific way of doing it. But astrology is looking at them and they say how they're going to affect your life, your life and your death, your sickness and your health, your marriage and divorce, all of these things by looking at the stars. This is called astrology. That is the study of stars, and on the basis of that saying how these stars affect the human life or how they're going to affect the earth here. So that's forbidden. The Prophet said, كَذَبَ الْمُنَجِّمُونَ وَلَوْ صَدَقُوا. The astrologers, they are liars even if what they say comes out and true. Even if that happens, they are liars because they have no way of knowing it. They are simply making some kind of a guesswork, and sometimes the guesswork is okay. You can find out, you say, all right, yeah, this happened. But that doesn't mean that they had knowledge. They're simply making an imagination. So that astrologers, soothsayers, magicians, people go to magicians and ask the magicians to tell me about what is going to happen. When I was a student at Harvard, there was a bookstore where they used to sell books of mysticism, Buddhist mysticism, tantric mysticism, all of these kind of things. So they called it occult sciences, the esoteric sciences, all this. So, because I was studying religion, so I went there just to see what books they have. And one time I went there was a lady sitting there on an armchair. This is a rocking chair. She was just rocking, and I said, young man, should I tell you about your future? I said, you know the future? She said, yes, I will tell you about your future. I said, but you don't know your own future. She said, how come? I said, you don't know that I'm not going to ask you. So if you had known that I'm not going to seek your advice, you would not have asked me. So you don't know about your own future. How come you give me my future? So you see, they don't know. But they say that. I look into that glass, into that globe, and then say, yeah, this is going to happen. I'll make a circle and then say, this is what happened. Here is you are going to die on such and such date. You're going to get sick. You're going to this, all of these things. كَذَبَ الْمُنَجِّمُونَ وَلَوْ صَدَقُوا. They're all liars. And that's why I said, don't go there. مَنْ أَتَى إِلَى سَاحِرٍ فَقَدْ كَفَرَ بِمَا جَاءَ بِهِ مُحَمَّدٍ صلى الله عليه وسلم. Somebody goes to a magician and asks him about all of these things, he denies what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has brought. So we are absolutely forbidden to go this. The right thing is go to Allah and pray to Allah. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you and protect you. That's the right way. So and sometimes people take omens from birds, that's called tatayyur in the Arabic language. The Arabs used to say, okay, the birds came from my right side or from the left side. So if somebody is planning to go somewhere for a journey, and the bird passed by the left side, oh, bad luck, I'm not going to go there. But if it is from the right side, so they say tasha'um, tafa'ul, all of these kind of things that people used to do that. And sometimes they used to wear some kind of charms. Somebody is wearing a horseshoe, or a symbol of a horseshoe, something else. All these kind of things that people wear that. So these kind of things people used to do that to protect themselves from future harm. They think that this is going to protect them. This is going to help them. So these are called superstitions. They have no basis, no scientific basis, no religious basis, nothing of that is of this nature. So Islamic way is nobody knows the future except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as I said, learn, study, use your experience, consult, and make istikhara, and of course make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To protect yourself from harm, or to have the benefit, the Islam forbid that wearing bones and horseshoes, the charms, and all of these things, that they're forbidden. And there is one thing that people do which is called tamima, tamaim, or ta'weez, for protection or for benefit. So they wear ta'weez. Sometimes they have it in their hand, sometimes they have it on their arm, sometimes they wear it on their necks. Or they put it in their car. That is something in the front, from the mirror, in their car. Sometimes they put it on the door of their homes. They do that. There are two opinions on that. One is, there is something called Ruqyah. Ruqyah, if you read something from the Quran and some du'as that the Prophet ﷺ has taught, and you read them, and then after that you blow upon yourself, on somebody, that's permissible. We find that in the ahadith, authentic ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Rasulullah ﷺ used to recite Qul huwallahu ahad, Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, and then blow it on his hand and put it on his face. And when in the last moments of his life, Aisha radhiyallahu anha says that Rasulullah ﷺ was not able to do that. So she said, I read that and I'd blow on his hand, and I took his hand so that he could touch on his face, on his blessed hand. So, and Rasulullah ﷺ very often used to do that. People used to come to him and ask him, and they do that. So that's called Ruqyah. That is reciting some verses from the Quran, some of the du'as that the Prophet ﷺ has taught, and reciting. Rasulullah ﷺ used to go and see Hassan and Hussein, his grandsons. And when he used to see them, sometimes he used to recite, وَعِذُكُمَا بِكَلِمَاتِ اللَّهِ التَّامَّاتِ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْطَانٍ وَهَامَّةٍ وَمِنْ كُلِّ عَيْنٍ لَامَّةٍ. I ask Allah to protect you, both of you, from every shaitan, from every bad spirit, from bad eye, from evil eye. So this is the reciting by your tongue. It is good to do it for yourself. And people say, Ruqyah, for yourself, do it. There is no question about that. Everybody agrees on that. All the ulama, they agree that this is good. Also, Ruqyah for others, you can do that. But there are three things that you should do. You should know about Ruqyah. It has to be from the Quran and the Sunnah, not anything else. And it should not contain, it should be in Arabic. It should not be any other language. No? So number is, one of them from the Quran and the Sunnah, and the second thing, it should be in Arabic. And the third thing is, do not believe that this chanting and this reciting will heal the person. Only Allah heals the person. So do not believe that my Ruqyah is going to heal somebody. No. Ruqyah does not heal. Ruqyah is only a way of doing it. But the real healing comes from Allah. La shafi'a illa Allah. So shifa comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shifa does not come from any reading, from anything. So there are three important things that we have to remember that. So only Quran and Sunnah, not anything else. And now the question comes about writing something on the paper and then rolling it up and giving you so that you can hang it on your neck or tie it on your hand or hang it somewhere. This has been opinion of the Sahaba, two opinions. Some of them they used to said that no, don't do that. Because it is not mentioned that Prophet ﷺ wrote something to somebody or asked somebody to write and then he gave it to somebody. So it's not mentioned. Some other Sahaba said it's okay if it is Quran and Ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ. It can be done. But only the Quran, not the names of various Arut, Marut, Yarut, Tarut, all these kind of things that people write. Totally ununderstandable kind of things. Language that has no meaning, and then making numbers, all this, and then giving it to somebody. So don't do that. Don't accept that. If it is something from the Quran and the Sunnah, accept it. If it is not from the Quran and Sunnah, don't take it. And it should be from Quran and the Hadith of the Prophet. Not even the names of prophets. Not even the names of the angels. Names of any pious people. Don't put that. Only Allah, the word of Allah and the dua that Prophet ﷺ has taught. So it is permissible, according to some, and people give it. The other thing is Ruqyah in terms of reading something and then after that blowing it in the water and giving somebody to drink that water. That is permissible. It is allowed to do that. Or blowing it on oil and giving somebody to rub that oil. That is also permissible. But there are some scholars, some ulama, they say avoid that as much as possible. Try to just make dua. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. But these are the things that are given to us. So this Ruqyah is called Ruqyah Shar'iyya. And there are people who are expert on that. There are long Ruqyahs and short Ruqyahs. A lot of these Ruqyahs are based on the surah of the Quran. Some selections from Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Nisa, all the way to go there. Sometimes they recite for maybe an hour in certain cases. And it is said that in some situations a person is sick, a person is lost his mind, then you do that. People are in epilepsy and all of these kind of situations, that you recite that. And people do that. There are some ulama, they do that. As long as they are not using it to make money, it has to be a sincere person, a pious person who does that. You should go there to that person and take benefit of that. So these are called, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. The Quran is shifa. Quran is healing. And this healing of the Quran is spiritual healing as well as physical healing. Somebody is sick, yes. Tadawu bil Quran. Or use Quran as dawa. So Quran is hidayah and dawa. Quran is good for everything. So Quran can be used for that. Although the purpose of the Quran is not only this, purpose of the Quran is hidayah. The purpose of Quran is that you understand the Quran and follow the Quran, but there are some other benefits, side benefits, you can say that, of the Quran. Reading the Quran and there's benefit from that. So it is permissible. And so Ruqyah is halal if it is based on the Quran and the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Now another thing that people do for about the unseen, they try to manipulate the powers of the unseen to harm others. Not just to benefit themselves and to protect themselves from harm, but they use that to harm others. Why they do that? Because they have jealousy. Somebody is good, famous, successful, and some people don't like that person and try to do something to harm that person, that he gets sick, so that person die. They see somebody with good children, nice family, they get jealous of that. They want to see how can create يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه, to divide man and his wife and create divorce, create fight between the family members. So this is jealousy. Sometimes it is hate. They don't like the person. They're just hateful. Sometimes because they are angry, they had some dispute, some argument, some fight, and they do not know how to do that. So what they do, they go to somebody who can do black magic. Now black magic, why they call it black magic? Because this is the magic that is used to harm somebody. So that they use two words, black magic, white magic. White magic is to benefit, and black magic is to harm. So black magic is that which people use. Naffasat fil uqad, as you have that in Surah Al-Falaq. That you go to those who make ties and they blow into that, and they say all kind of incantations. They use that. What they do, they try, the people who do that, these are the people who get involved into this sifliyat, the things that are lower thing. They spend a lot of time in dirty places where you have evil spirits. They go there. Sometimes they go to the places of filth and spend time there. Sometimes they even do dirty acts, filthy acts. They take the copies of the Quran and bury them in the filth to please the evil spirits. And they think that by doing that, they control the evil spirits. And the evil spirit like them. And then they will tell the evil spirit something and they will do it for you. So they kind of bring closer to themselves the shayateen. Al-jinnati wan-nas, the jinn and the human beings. And they use them to harm the other person. And this is, just like diseases infect the people, in a similar way, this can affect the person psychologically. It can affect the person. There are many things that we have not yet discovered the reason how these things affect, but they do affect. So some of the black magic works, unfortunately. And one has to be aware of that. And that's why we are told that we should recite every day, especially before going to bed, you should recite the mu'awwazatayn. Or they call it al-mu'awwazatu salas, the three mu'awwazat. Mu'awwaza is that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's protection. And these three are Qul Huwallahu Ahad, although the word A'udhu is not used there, but it is included in the mu'awwazat. So you say Qul Huwallahu Ahad, which is Qul Huwallahu Ahad, the Sulusul Quran. The Prophet said in one of the hadiths that is it difficult for you to recite the whole Quran in one night? And they say, Ya Rasulullah, who can recite the whole Quran in one night? He says, yeah, you recite 3 times Qul Huwallahu Ahad, you receive the reward of the whole Quran. To recite Qul Huwallahu Ahad, recite Qul A'udhu Rabbil Falaq, Qul A'udhu Rabbin Nas, blow it on your hand, and rub over your body and go to sleep. Inshallah, Allah will protect you. Sometimes you may see bad dream. And a bad dream, you turn to your left side, say tu and recite La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, turn your side and go to sleep. Because bad dreams are from shayateen. Good dreams are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bad dreams are not from Allah. Bad dreams are from shayateen. So one is called Ruqyah, the other is called ahlam. So it is very important to use that. And then many other du'as are there. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you look at the mu'awwazat that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned in the ahadith, so many things that Prophet said, a'udhu, 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 a'udhu. For example, if you have pain somewhere, that you have dua. Say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim 3 times, Bismillah, 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 and then you say أعوذ بعظمة الله وقدرته من شر ما أجد وحاذر. Recite 7 times, and then blow on your hand, and then rub over the place where you have that pain. And many people say it's very effective, very effective. Of course, everything in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't mean because you recite it's going to happen. No, it happens just like you take medicine. Sometimes medicine will help you, sometimes will not help you. So these are the methods that are given to us. That is, first of all, it is absolutely forbidden in Islam to harm somebody because of anger or because of hate or because of jealousy or because of your disputes. Don't go to all these people to say black magic. It's absolutely forbidden. It's haram. And if somebody dies because of that, it's like killing the person, as if somebody has killed him. So this is something very serious. It's absolutely forbidden to go to magicians who do the black magic. And if you feel that somebody has done that, the way to do it is that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you, recite ta'awudat, mu'awwadat. If that is still not work, maybe you go to an expert who knows more about that. And that person can recite some other ayat, some other ahadith and do that, and can help you inshallah. But doesn't mean that if you are sick, anytime you're sick, you become all time suspicious. It must be somebody that done magic to me, if somebody has done sahr to me. A lot of other things, because people get sick. You're not eating right food, you're not making exercise, you're not taking medicine, and so that's why you get sick. But you say, no, it is magic, somebody has done sihr on me. So it is, one should not be in this kind of situation. One should try to avoid that. All right? So you can take some questions, inshallah. Sheikh Shahid. This is a big topic. I'm just giving you a short point on that. I mean, one can spend hours and hours explaining it and discussing it. But I just giving you that, first of all, what is ghayb? Iman bil ghayb is very important, and only those things that we are told are ghaybiyat. Don't go into increase yourself in that. Don't go into superstitions. And the ghayb is in the sense of knowing the future. Future is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we can know the future by study, by experience, by knowledge. We can know the future, and many things that we do not know. So we trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's called tawakkul. And you try to have benefits, and benefits come by dua, by istikhara, and avoid the harm, but do not harm anybody else by these kind of things. So that is, these are the basic points.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Siddiqui. I was under, forgive the misunderstanding if I have a misunderstanding on this. Forgive me if I have a misunderstanding on this, but I was under the impression that if somebody feels that they may have something on them or evil eye or something, that they read Ayatul Kursi. Is that correct or no?
Ayatul Kursi, yes, certainly. Ayatul Kursi, and then if somebody has feeling that he's bothered by jinns and evil spirits, recitation of Surah Al-Baqarah, these are all very effective, inshallah. So Ayatul Kursi certainly has a lot of effect. It's very effective. And should recite that before retiring to bed, recite Ayatul Kursi, and then Qul Allahu Ahad, Qul A'udhu Rabbil Falaq, Qul A'udhu Rabbin Nas. Or any other dua, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beside that, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So turn to Allah. The best thing is turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the best protector. Ni'mal Mawla wa ni'mal Nasir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the wakil. He is the one who we should put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Sadiqi and everybody else. I was told that a woman that married my husband had done all sorts of witchcraft against, well, number one, my husband, and number two, my daughters. They are extremely beautiful. They are professionals making extremely good money. They are pious. They are kind. They work with charity. They're exceptional ladies. And to this date, no one has come to ask for, well, they have, some have come, but so they are, they're desperate because they want to be mothers, and one is 32 and the other one's 34. And so they're getting worried because they want to have children. And this woman that my husband married is relentless. She annoys so much.
Just going to repeat the question so everyone can hear. So the question was that the sister has daughters that are getting up in age, and she's described them as being, I'm not describing them, but she's described them as being beautiful and well in their profession, and that someone who married her husband, or previous husband, I'm assuming, we'll just leave it there, it has done black magic on him and her daughters. So, and for kind of, and they haven't gotten married yet, and so what's the solution to help them get this off? And she's kind of worried that they're getting older and they're not getting married, and this might be what is preventing it.
Well, as I said, that you make dua, recite those Ayatul Kursi, Mu'awwazat, other du'as of the Prophet ﷺ, you can do that. If you think it's not helping, you can consult somebody who is more knowledgeable on this. They might help you in that. They have some other recitation, they can do that. And make sure that it is not just you are thinking that it's black magic, but it may be something else, maybe some other problem, some other issues, because the life has different other complexities. So one does not say that everything is because of black magic or any other these things. So, we have to find other ways, checking out. So there is just like different kind of diseases, you have to find out it is what kind of disease it is. So the half of the cure is what you call it, that is you find a diagnosis. Diagnose the problem. If the problem is properly diagnosed, it'd be easy to provide the prescription for that. Another thing that I also mentioned, that sometimes people, somebody will tell you, oh, my husband maybe will go and marry somebody else. I would like that we have a lot of love between them and us. And they say they will give you something to wear, some kind of a bangle. So they call it tawala. That is to create love between the husband and wife. Creating love is to do good things, to take care of your husband, take care of your wife, that you do that. So these things, again, they have no basis. But you have all of these things. Sometimes people wear a special ring, people wear a special charm and do that and this. So this is called tawala.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Actually, I was in 8th class and was with my teacher, and he was performing all these taweez and all these things at that age, and he asked me, can you bring some of the books? When I take out the books, one book from the closet, suddenly scorpion came at my palm. Scorpion came at my palm. So he bite, sting me badly, and I was crying. When he came to know, when he ran toward me, and he recited something, a dua, whatsoever, I don't know. I feel better immediately. I did not feel anything problem. First thing, it was I think permissible, which you told that to recite dua or say good. Secondly, I want to know this black magic. When the man does these things, is he excluded from Islam? Islamically, it is prohibited. Is there any action can be taken against these people, or is it Sharia? What does allow it to restrain from such things?
So the second question was that those people who do black magic, there's anything from the Sharia so that we can take any action against them for these people who are doing it, or do we just leave them? And also, are they considered Muslims still?
If you are in Islamic environment and where the Islamic law applies, then of course this can be reported to the authorities, and the judgment can be taken against that person by the court. If somebody is involved into this kind of thing, and by this he is harming the people, if that can be proved, yes, it is a crime according to our scholars to get involved into that. But of course, where there is no such law there and there is no such system of court, you cannot do anything. You cannot take the law in your own hand. The only thing is to warn the people that we should not go to that person and do not do this kind of thing. So for a Muslim, it is very important to emphasize that this is haram. It's absolutely haram. Because those who get involved into black magic, I'm not saying the person to whom the black magic is done, even the person who practices that, who does that, they always have bad end of their life. Very often these people themselves are harmed greatly. So it's like getting involved into a very dangerous world, and you should not participate in that. Absolutely not participate in that.
Islamically, we cannot give any fatwa that he is a kafir. He cannot say that he is excluded from Islam.
It's a kufr. I mean, I will call him the kafir or not. It is a kufr. Because there are certain actions are the actions of the kufr. But our ulama, muftis, they avoid calling a person kafir. They say somebody who does that, this is the act of kufr.
Thank you very much.
Before we get to your question, sorry, there was another question that was sent to me. Someone was asking about those individuals that make dua with the muqatta'at, al-huruf al-muqatta'at, alif, lam, mim, yasin. Is that allowed to make dua using these letters?
We don't know the real meaning of those huruf. Of course, they are huruf of the Quran, but again, use them in dua. We don't have any hadith that says that Prophet used that alif, lam, mim, qaf, noon, yasin, all these things to make dua. There are many other du'as in the Quran, alhamdulillah. We use those du'as. You have the understanding of the meaning of it. ربنا إننا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. And you make this dua. رب إني ظلمت نفسي فاغفر لي فغفر له. اللهم ارحمني. رب مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين. There are many other du'as in the Quran. Quran is full of du'as. Many du'as that are given to us for every occasion. So it's good to use those du'as. Why to go to see alif, lam, mim, qaf, noon, yasin, all of these things? Yes, these are words of the Quran. These are words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Certainly, but what is the meaning of that? So that's why all the ulama say, Allahu a'lamu bima'na. Only Allah knows better the meaning of it.
Oh, yeah, hi. I have a question is that, we believe that Allah Ta'ala knows everything about it. Without the permission from Him, nothing bad or good would happen to you. So why Allah let this black magic fall upon another Muslim who is devout and following the path of Islam?
question is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all good and bad comes from everything that is willed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to happen. So why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will that black magic happens to somebody?
Well, I mean, this is the question. So why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes somebody has cancer? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes somebody has, diabetes or any other thing? It's a kind of why this happens. So these are amrad. Some amrad are amrad of physical, some of them psychological, some of them are emotional. So what are all these kind of things? So these are, in this world is made, what they call it, the world of asbab, cause and effect. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, there is cause and effect, but Allah is over that, over and above that. And that is, inna likulli da'in dawa. Yes, there is da. Allah did not say that there is no da. There is da. The Prophet said, but every da has a dawa. Every disease has a medicine. Some people know it, some people don't know it. So one has to investigate, one has to work on that. So in a similar way, all these psychological problems that are increasing, unfortunately, for various reasons, because people are not paying attention to Allah. People are not praying regularly, people are not doing good deeds, not eating the halal food, committing all kind of sins. So they are all, some of them are physical problems are coming and some are psychological problems coming. And there are some ahadith that mention us that when people get involved with this thing, this happens. When people get involved in this, this happens. So all of these things. So people have to avoid those. But why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows that? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows wars are happening, the violence is happening, all kind of crimes are happening? Because Allah has made this world not a perfect world. This world is Darul Ibtila. This world is the world of test. And you are supposed to do, every one of us, we are supposed to do the right thing. Because that is the test. خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He has created death and He has created life, so to test you, who is doing the good things. So the question is, what can I do? Some of the natural problems, some of are the moral problem. Why there are earthquakes, why there are tsunamis, why there are storms, why there is famine, why there is drought. All of these things have one reason or the other. One has to study, one has to find out and try to find the cure for that.
Since Salat al-Isha is going to be coming, those who still have questions afterwards, maybe personal questions, Dr. Siddiqui, inshallah ta'ala, will be available after Salah if anyone wants to ask their own question. So you'll be here, since we didn't get to take on many questions. Well, he's here all the time, like he's saying. Alhamdulillah. May Allah, we have to thank Dr. Siddiqui, alhamdulillah, for presenting this topic, and hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, everyone benefit from it. May Allah bless you and reward you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله